At the compound again. Trashy compound. Right there, right away, I could just feel like all the people that have clicked on the video and now they're like, oh boy, what did I just click on? Tire machine still sitting outside. 600 pounds. Yes, Skills, that's the king's throne. I don't know, somebody dropped it off here a long time ago. Where was I? Well, I was looking for, I don't know, I gave my father-in-law this really nice barbecue, like a wood pellet barbecue. It totally works. But for weight savings, when I picked it up for scrap, I removed the grill part. And I have no idea what the heck I did with it. And he bought all this meat and stuff like that to cook because I guess Gill Skills is coming out here and I can't find the parts. Whatever. I give up. I don't know, it's like a $900 wood pellet barbecue. And it's complete. Or it was complete. Anyway, this is in response to the last video that I made with the truck all. I couldn't video the cleaning out, but it's just filled with, I don't know, your ordinary household bric-a-brac. Wet and forget, whatever that. I've never needed that, so I have no idea what that's for. Some Roundup weed killer. I don't really use that because supposedly it's got chemicals in there that will turn you into Michael J. Fox. You know, give you a Parkinson's and whatnot. I don't need no Parkinson's. Yeah, the lady wouldn't let me make a video of the clean out, so that's the other thing that I found. These things are super, super, super heavy. That's why I use the minivan, because the floor is lower to the ground. So it was a little easier getting this into the minivan. I was going to use the pickup, but the pickup truck floor has got to be at least another foot or more, like a foot and a half off the ground higher. It's like 2 and something feet when empty. It's almost 3 feet. So you need a lift like Pallet Man has. Okay, well, one, that contraption adds a lot of weight to the vehicle, and two, those things are very expensive. So that is, unless I find one laying by the curb, and even at that, I'll probably never ever have one or use one. Yeah, I could find the barbecue grill for the one that I don't have anymore. Whatever. Yeah, having one of those lifts, very convenient. Very convenient. Unless I find one by the curb for free. And even at that, you're not going to see one on this channel. Besides, you know, if the truck breaks down, or if the truck that I'm using is full, that's not the only truck that I'm using. So, even if it was fully utilized, it still wouldn't be fully utilized if that makes sense. Hey, we got some free tires for you. I guess Beamer and Son got a couple of free tires and stuff like that. Somebody gave me these free tires, and well, that ain't so good now, is it? So that's going into the garbage. Yeah, this one might be okay. When they get dry rotted on the side, that's one thing. But when they get dry rotted inside of the tread, that means the steel belts are going to rip, and the outer rubber is going to separate from, and then you're going to have a bulge in the tire. It's going to be wobbling. It's going to make the steering wheel shake, and then it's going to come off. Not the steering wheel, but the tread of rubber on the tire. King, you keep walking back and forth. Yeah, I know, right? Oh boy, I should actually bring this indoors, huh? It's been exposed to the weather a little bit. Maybe some Murphy's oil soap. Kind of bring it back to life a little bit before it ends up in the fire pile. $20 maybe? I don't know. I was going to test these things out to see if they actually work, because I think that they do. Maytag pair. Usually when they're thrown out as a pair, at least one of them still functions. Well, there's this channel where the guy fixes appliances too, and he's really good at it. It's a Canadian channel, wouldn't you figure? Anyway, he makes it seem so unbelievably simple. I think I watched about all of his videos, and I'm still confused. You know why? Because I'm a scrapper. That's what we do on this channel. We scrap. We don't use our brains because we don't have any. I barely get up here. And now standing up, I gotta put my hand up against the wall. Uh, 310 pounds. That just slammed into my leg. King, why don't you wear shorts like Scrap Farm? Because my legs would be all cut, mosquito bites, cut, all scratched, bloody. No. How's that better? Wouldn't you rather? Aren't you hot? Yeah, I'd rather be. Here's the trade-off. I'd rather be a little bit uncomfortable from the heat rather than be uncomfortable from being cut up, bug bitten. You gotta remember, I'm right next to that forest over there and the river and all that, so there's so many bugs, and it gets kind of gnarly, especially when it gets hot out. Oh wow, that did not flip over. Well, I'm impressed by myself. Tools that I quickly forgot that I still had. Do you think this thing will ever see, the vehicle will ever see asphalt again? Or is this in a permanent state of just being parked forever and ever and ever? The problem is, hey, should I like throw this and have it land on that piece of steel right there? Or should I just throw it on the dirt? Hey, let's throw it on the steel. You know, that's actually a good piece of steel. I shouldn't bend it. It's like an 1/8 inch thick. I could probably use that for if I ever get like a welder. I don't know how to weld. For me, that's like if I ever got like a jet airplane, and I don't know how to fly a jet. Well, the things I would be welding the most would probably be, light iron, cars, etc. Projects. Why are you emptying it out, King? I don't know. Just so I could talk to you guys. I'm actually out of breath from that little bit of work. That's how out of shape. That's how out of shape I am. I've forgotten how useful these big trucks were. Because the way I go around scrapping, oftentimes, because I have other family commitments, etc., I don't go out for like a whole day. I might go out for like 15 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 2 hours here. Between picking my kid up from school or other activities and stuff like that. She has a driver's license, and I actually got her that truck. I've taken her out driving, and I switch it up. I try, techniques that I don't tell her about, like what I'm really doing. I had her driving for like about 45 minutes, and she kind of like dazed off, like started daydreaming while she was driving. And instead of being a backseat driver, I knew the coast was clear. I didn't say anything about the red light, and she went right through the red light. Okay, if you do that, you're not ready to drive on your own. That's like a issue that, it's a Thornton sign. That's an issue that you need to address on a very slow, incremental basis, because you let somebody like that out on the road, she's going to T-bone somebody and kill them, or she's going to end up getting T-boned and she'll get killed. So this is where I'm very adamant about my belief that when you're 15, you need to learn how to drive. Because the older you get and you start learning how to drive, the crappier a driver you become. It just is. I mean, my mother-in-law, she didn't get her driver's license until she was like 30. And she's not a good driver. Because there's something about when you're a teenager, you don't have the fear of death the same way an adult does. You know, you're approaching traffic and it's coming right at you. I mean, it's in the opposing lane, but you know, when you get older, that plays on your mind a little differently. Hey, this could really actually hit me. Road sign. I'm a hoarder. It's starting to get hot out there. I really need to finish this up. Do you think this thing will ever be driven? I mean, in order to be driven, I gotta fix the crack in the windshield. I gotta make sure all the lights are working, that it's not leaking fluid. To get a state safety inspection sticker, has to be able to pass the safety inspection. Otherwise, you can't use it on the roadway. Oh, that missed. That's the big bugaboo about these larger trucks, is you have to take them in to be inspected twice a year. Unlike the pickup trucks, where if you're driving with a low weight registration, then they consider it more like a car than a truck. 8,000 pounds or less, there's no inspection. But if it's designed to weigh over 8,000 pounds, truck, passengers, and cargo combined, or whatever, yeah, you have to have it inspected. And as I recall, more so than with this one, the state inspector guy always was a little bit more lenient with this Chevy, and they were way more strict with that Ford. I really picked that thing apart. It drive me nuts. I remember one time I took it in to be inspected, the guy smashed down on the brake pedal so hard that it blew out a brake line. And I either had to have it towed or drive it back to my parking spot, which I drove it all the way back from 10 miles from the inspection place back to the parking spot with like almost no brakes. And I think I was going like 10 miles an hour. But it's been sitting so long that it's going to need plenty of going over, etc. Which I need to be able to have, which I don't ever seem to be able to get. I need to have enough scrapping money put together so that I can dedicate time to fixing those trucks without it affecting the family finances. And the reason why, well, just go scrap that. Well, you're not going to get a lot of money scrapping cars because the price of scrap really isn't that high. And once I scrap them, it was a poor man's bank. I was planning on fixing whatever it is that I'm keeping. And that's out the window. Okay? So I take the money from scrapping and junking something, right? Okay, I get a couple $100 in my pocket. Chances are that couple $100 that I got from junking that car ain't never gonna see anything about repairing any one of these trucks, because gasoline, food, bills will grab that money, that couple $100, long before any of it sees the truck. Also, the one thing I keep forgetting to tell in the argument is, even if I sunk the money in, I need to be money comfortable. I need to be money comfortable enough where when I do sink money into it, I know it's going to break again, like right away. So I could scrap a couple of cars, get a few $100, sink it right into the truck only for it to break again, like right away. Now I'm really out of the poor man's bank. I got nothing. Where do I got to lean on then? Then just junk the trucks and get another. I guess a lot of people have money. It's part of the dream, dream. The scrap life dream. The scrap life dream continues. Well, eventually, King, you're going to end up getting too old to dream anymore. I'm going to have to scrap the dreams. Right? Keeps you in a pickle spot. I remember I saved this for my kid. That's how long I've had this stupid thing. You. Broken dreams. Yeah. Here you go, son. You're a sport. Yeah, that never happened. Them kids, they just grew up so fast. They do. I guess I could always have more if I find some hoe or something like that. Shit, I'm never gonna be rich. I'd rather I'd rather like bang out a couple of puppies with some hoe. I don't care. Why, so you could screw those kids up too? Oh, okay. My kids ain't never been in trouble with the law. Now, my kids are actually better than I was. Man, if I did the shit today that I did when I was a kid, I'd probably have an FBI file. Yeah, well, I shouldn't even admit to it, but my uncle was cousins. I have cousins that watch this channel. If you don't want to keep watching it, turn it off. But anyway, or create your own YouTube channel, because I got the freedom of speech. Well, anyway, my uncle, he was City of Chicago slum landlord, the largest slum landlord in the city of Chicago at one time. He had over 400 apartment buildings. And we'd go and do renovations. Not like actually restoring it, but, you know, gutting them. You know, ripping out all the old carpeting and whatnot. Which makes me wonder, like, what kind of chemicals was I exposed to? You know, we knock out some of the plaster walls and rip out cabinets and stuff like that. That kind of stuff. Because he would rehab them. So we would do the inside demo. You know, just gut it all out down to the 2x4s. Yeah. I'm thinking of it. Thinking back on that, wow. What kind of nasty stuff was I exposed to? Maybe asbestos, maybe not. Because at the time, there was awareness of that stuff, so I don't remember knocking out any old plumbing pipes or anything like that with like that covering on there. But yeah, we'd rip the carpeting off of the stairways and stuff like that, because when he would restore them, we'd put that that varnish or whatever stripper on there, strip the wood down to, like, you know, bare wood like that, and he would have them refinished and stuff like that. Actually, when we were done with them, those buildings were beautiful. But what he would do is he'd buy them, and then he'd have like some hipsters living there for next to nothing. Okay, so the building was occupied. You know, because these were in the ghetto. You know, and if they're not occupied, they're gonna get destroyed. They're gonna get set on fire, or there's gonna be bums living in them, homeless people or whatever. So, yeah, he would hire like some hipsters and stuff like that to live in there practically for free, to kind of watch over the place until it was ready to be renovated. And yeah, once it was renovated, wow, beautiful building. Anyway, how did I get onto that? Slum landlord, I forgot. Anyway, how did I get stuck on that story? Well, I guess the ghetto runs in all of us, in our family. You could take us out of the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out of us. Anyway. Well, while I was like reloading the data on my iPhone, I shoveled like a little bit of this pile here off camera. I got that. What I'm trying to do is basically make the inside of this thing empty, so if and when I do fire it up and get it running, I can drive it around without any weight in it. And well, I gotta register it, and I gotta tinker with the motor a little bit. It's got an oil leak, and it's got a transmission leak. I gotta make sure the transmission leak's not bad enough where if I bring it to the state inspection lane, they don't notice it. Because it mostly leaks just like when it's sitting. These have brass on them, so I gotta keep that separate. That's yeah, I don't know. Never mind me, I'm just dreaming. I've been wanting to get this thing going for what, the last 4 or 5 years? you know, you earn money, but then you gotta spend it. You know, you gotta pay for the mortgage and for food and for tuition for the kids, and on and on and on. So I end up robbing the store, so to speak, so I can so we can live life, which kind of hurts in the long run, but the needs are now. That's how we live life, right? Mostly, a lot of us that aren't well off, we just live in the here and now. Try not to live in the past, because there really isn't anything to do about it, except maybe study the history. And, well, the future isn't here yet. And today is a present. So it's a gift. Right? As I got that, I have that YouTuber Gil Skills coming here. This place is nowhere near how I wanted it. I wanted like nothing. I wanted like no scrap junk laying on the ground whatsoever by the time he got here. But that's not the case. Oh well. Because I remember a couple of years ago he brought another YouTuber from Indiana, Crystal. Wow, that lady, man. Wow, she's freaking awesome. If I didn't meet my wife and I met somebody like her, man, I'd scoop that lady up in a nanosecond. That's how awesome somebody like that is. Some women are worth fighting for. You know what I mean? No, that's not to make a dig at you, wife of mine. You're okay. I'm just saying, if you never happened along, the grass is always greener, isn't it? Somewhere. Anyway, I'm going on a joking tangent. The fact of the matter is, man, I had this like massive pile of aluminum. Well, aluminum was only paying 18 cents at the time. What a waste, right? But anyway, there's a huge pile of aluminum. I'd been saving it, thinking the price was going to go up. Price for aluminum a couple of years ago, it was just 2-3 years ago, it was like in the gutter. And it had been really low for, probably about 8 years prior to that. Ever since the economic crash back in like the end of 2008, 2009. I'm saving this for some reason. Don't know why. It has purpose though. I know that. If I'm saving it, must be some reason, right? Yeah, anyway, aluminum never recovered. It's gone back up since then, and then it's been going down. It went down about 25% about 3 weeks ago. So everything is headed back down again. My longer point. Anyway, that lady knocked that pile out, man, in one afternoon. Gone. Completely gone. About 3,000 pounds of aluminum. That, this kind right here. siding exactly like that with the foam on the back. She grabbed a one of those putty scrapers. It's about maybe 6 inches, and just like sheared the stuff off, like an Australian sheep shearer. It's like a shearing contest. There was like piles of foam all over the place with like little itty bitty like balls of styrofoam flying around in there, you know, like that kind of stuff. See how it when it crumbles and stuff like that. We get it, King. We get it. Oh, it was like little pellet balls. Were like it was a little bit windy that day, and they were like it was like it was snowing. I'm talking about it a couple years later because it was a sure sight to behold. Well, as I'm making this video and the truck is getting more empty, there's an echo. There was actually a fairly significant amount of junk in here. It didn't look like it. This thing can hold quite a bit. If you pack it right, you get about 2 tons, depending on the scrap material. Right now, 1 ton is around $200, so. I can get a $300 or $400 run out of this truck. And even though I have that trailer, I just have never used it really, other than hoarding. You're a hoarder! Yeah, I know. But you're a hoarder! I know. I know. But you're a hoarder! You! Right? Well, we're almost there. This is like a over hour long video, and it's taken me probably twice that amount of time to just get this far. Because it's kind of hot out. I don't feel good. I mean, I'm not sick or anything like that. I don't have a cold or anything. It's like the heat. Anyway. So, yeah, I kind of wanted the place to be a little less garbage all over the place. So, when they come here, time could be a little bit more enjoyable. You know, maybe even the pallet man might come, I don't know. Those are about the only 2, maybe 3 YouTubers. Crystal, Bob from Gill Skills, and the Pallet Man. Those are about the only like 3 or maybe 4 YouTubers that I would ever be comfortable having come by here. Actually, because I have known them for quite a while. Maybe Tucker Upper and Sammy, if they ever came here, I'd be, or Bert from Scrap Farm, I'd be totally comfortable with them people, but that's about it. Oh yeah, I had one more scrapping together guy. Can't remember his name. I don't think he's made videos in a while, but I'd be comfortable with him being here, even though I've never met the guy personally. I just he seems docile. If that makes any sense. Like completely trustworthy. Chuck from Florida. Florida Scrapper. I'd be cool with Charles and John Wild from John Wild Productions in Orlando. I'd be alright with him coming here. I've never met the guy, but I've known him on, social media, etc. for 6-7 years or whatever it is. So, he's a real guy. That's somebody trustworthy. That's it though, right there. Tucker and Sammy, Bert from Scrap Farm, Crystal, Chuck from Florida Scrapper, John Wild, Pallet Man, Bob from Gill Skills. That's about it. After that, no thank you. I wouldn't want anybody else to come here. That's just me. Just those people. How many does it come out to? 7 or 8? Yeah. Tucker and Sammy, because I can tell they're real. I mean, that guy's been making videos, since like 2007, for a long time. And Pallet Man, that guy is the same guy as you see on YouTube. He's not fake. So extraordinarily trustworthy. I mean, this is social media, so you gotta be careful, because you don't know. You don't know. Banker's hours. You don't know who you're inviting over. You know what I mean? Unless you, after you have seen people for a long time, then you're like, yeah, that person's worth giving a chance. They seem normal. King, you're not normal. No. Okay. I'm probably the most normal person there is. Get this thing emptied out. That would be like half the dream right there. Actually, my actual dream, I would like to fix this truck up, kind of, and sell it. I was thinking, people are telling me, oh, you should get a Sprinter van. Oh, those things are holy hell, a whole ball of garbage. Taco Stacks even had one. He's driving a Ford version of it now. But he had, like the Dodge and the Mercedes, it's like the same thing. He had one of those pieces of crap. No, thank you. Actually, I should get a garbage can for this. and not use the buckets. Yeah, so those kind of vans, they're junk. They're great on gas though. Those European style vans, they're excellent on fuel compared to this thing. This thing's just, this is a Friends of OPEC special. $10 miles to the gallon. So the only thing that makes it worthwhile keeping is, you know, just using it to go from the compound or whatever to the scrapyard and back. Definitely not for cruising around.